Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much you work out or how many protein shakes you drink, your muscles still seem to shrink over time? It's a question that puzzles millions, especially as we age. Muscle loss doesn't just affect your strength. It silently impacts your energy, balance, and overall health. Most people assume that the answer lies in expensive protein powders or fancy supplements. But what if I told you that the key to stopping muscle loss is hiding in a completely natural food you can find in your kitchen right now? And here's the exciting part. If you watch this video till the end, you'll discover exactly what that food is and how it can protect your muscles faster and more effectively than any powder or pill. Muscle loss, or what researchers call sarcopenia, begins much earlier than most realize. Studies show that people can start losing up to 3 to 5% of their muscle mass every decade after the age of 30. And the process accelerates if you're inactive or don't get the right nutrition. Even those who exercise regularly can struggle because simply lifting weights or drinking shakes isn't enough if the body isn't receiving the nutrients it truly needs. Over time, this silent loss doesn't just affect how you look. It makes everyday tasks like climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or even standing up from a chair more difficult. Worse, it increases the risk of falls, injuries, and long-term health complications. Many fitness enthusiasts immediately think that protein powders are the ultimate solution. After all, they're convenient, marketed as muscle-building miracles, and come with promises of rapid gains. But research tells a different story. While protein supplements can be helpful in certain cases, they are not a replacement for real, nutrient-dense foods. Some powders are low in quality, lacking essential amino acids, and can even contain hidden additives or sugars that do more harm than good. What science consistently highlights is that whole, natural foods not only provide complete proteins, but also deliver vitamins, minerals, and other compounds that directly support muscle health, something powders alone cannot match. Here's the fascinating part. Your body responds far better to nutrients when they come from real food. Whole foods trigger metabolic processes that stimulate muscle protein synthesis more effectively than isolated powders. They also provide anti-inflammatory compounds and antioxidants, which reduce cellular damage in muscles and speed up recovery. This means that while a shake may temporarily give you a protein boost, a simple, natural food consumed consistently can prevent muscle loss in the long term, enhance strength, and even improve endurance. Today, you're going to learn exactly which natural food has been scientifically proven to stop muscle loss, why it works, and how incorporating it into your daily diet can make a bigger difference than any expensive supplement. By the end of this video, you won't just have a tip. You'll have a strategy that can safeguard your muscles, improve your energy, and keep your body functioning at its best. So if you're tired of wasting money on powders that may not deliver, stay with me, because the solution is simpler, safer, and far more powerful than you ever imagined. Understanding why muscle loss happens is crucial to stopping it before it becomes a serious problem. As we age, our bodies naturally produce fewer hormones like testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin like growth factor, all of which play a critical role in maintaining and building muscle. This hormonal decline is a normal part of aging, but it can accelerate muscle breakdown if combined with inactivity or poor nutrition. Even small changes in daily activity like taking the stairs less often or sitting for longer periods can lead to measurable reductions in muscle mass over time. Muscles are not just for aesthetics. They are essential for balance, mobility, metabolism, and even immune function. When muscles shrink, the body becomes more prone to fatigue, falls, and chronic health conditions, which is why addressing this early is so important. Diet is a cornerstone in this process. Muscles require more than just protein to grow and maintain themselves. Amino acids, particularly leucine, are critical because they directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis. Whole foods rich in high-quality protein also contain vitamins and minerals like magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins, which are necessary for energy production and proper muscle function. Additionally, antioxidants found in natural foods reduce oxidative stress in muscle cells, protecting them from damage and supporting repair. Studies have shown that diets emphasizing whole, nutrient-dense foods lead to better muscle retention than those relying heavily on isolated supplements. Real food provides a complex matrix of nutrients that work synergistically, something powders or synthetic supplements cannot fully replicate. Physical inactivity compounds the problem. Even brief periods of immobility, such as bed rest during illness or extended sedentary work, can trigger rapid muscle loss. Research has shown that just 1 week of inactivity can reduce muscle strength by 5 to 10%. That loss is not instantly recovered by simply resuming normal activity or taking protein supplements. Muscles need both the stimulus of movement and the right nutritional building blocks to rebuild efficiently. Resistance training is one of the most effective ways to counteract this. But without proper nutrition, the results are limited. In fact, muscle protein synthesis requires the body to have both sufficient amino acids and energy from food. Without this combination, even the most rigorous exercise routines may not prevent muscle decline. Another factor often overlooked is inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation, common in many adults, accelerates muscle breakdown and interferes with the body's ability to repair damaged tissues. Foods rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds like certain fruits, vegetables, and whole proteins can help counteract this effect. They not only protect muscle fibers from oxidative damage, but also improve recovery after exercise. Studies indicate that incorporating these natural foods into daily meals enhances muscle retention and supports long-term strength more effectively than relying solely on supplements. Hydration and micronutrients also play a critical role. Water is essential for nutrient transport and joint lubrication, which indirectly affects muscle performance. Deficiencies in minerals like magnesium and zinc can impair muscle contraction and recovery. Ensuring sufficient intake through real nutrient-rich foods creates a foundation that allows muscles to respond optimally to both exercise and daily activities. This holistic approach, combining high-quality protein, micronutrients, antioxidants, and hydration, is what separates real, effective muscle preservation from the temporary effects promised by protein powders. Even small, consistent dietary changes can have measurable effects. For example, studies on older adults consuming high-quality, protein-rich foods 3 times per day show significant improvements in muscle mass and strength over several months. This is not an instant fix in a single meal, but rather the result of sustained, nutrient-dense eating habits that work with the body's natural repair mechanisms. It is also worth noting that not all proteins are created equal. Complete proteins, those containing all essential amino acids, are most effective at promoting muscle synthesis. Natural foods like eggs, dairy, lean meats, legumes, and certain seeds provide this complete profile along with vitamins, minerals, and other compounds that amplify their muscle-preserving benefits. In short, muscle loss is a multifaceted issue influenced by age, hormonal shifts, diet, activity level, inflammation, and nutrient intake. Addressing it effectively requires more than just protein powders. It requires a holistic strategy that combines high-quality, natural foods, regular movement, and anti-inflammatory nutrition. By understanding these underlying mechanisms, it becomes clear why a single natural food strategically incorporated into your daily routine can make a dramatic difference in preventing muscle loss and supporting strength. Many people automatically turn to protein powders when they notice their muscles weakening, believing these supplements are the ultimate shortcut to strength. The fitness industry markets them as the essential ingredient for building and preserving muscle, promising rapid results without much effort. But the truth is far more nuanced. Protein powders can be useful in certain situations, such as for individuals who struggle to meet their daily protein requirements through whole foods alone, or for athletes needing convenient, concentrated protein sources. However, relying on them exclusively can be misleading and, in some cases, counterproductive. Studies have shown that isolated protein supplements often lack the full spectrum of nutrients found in whole foods. And some commercially available powders even contain additives, sugars, or artificial flavorings that do not support long-term muscle health. While a shake may provide a quick dose of protein, it does not replicate the synergistic benefits that come from real nutrient-dense foods. The issue is not that protein powders are inherently bad. They can supplement a diet, but that they are often treated as a replacement for proper nutrition. Whole foods supply complete proteins, meaning they contain all the essential amino acids the body cannot produce on its own. These amino acids are the building blocks of muscle, but their effectiveness is amplified when combined with other nutrients naturally present in food, such as vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. For example, a piece of salmon not only provides high-quality protein, but also delivers omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown in multiple studies to reduce inflammation, improve recovery, and enhance muscle protein synthesis. Similarly, eggs contain leucine, a key amino acid that directly stimulates muscle building, along with choline, which supports cellular function, and vitamin D, which influences muscle strength. No single protein powder can replicate this complex combination, which is why whole foods often outperform supplements in the long-term preservation of muscle. Another factor to consider is bioavailability, the extent to which nutrients can be absorbed and used by the body. Research indicates that protein from whole foods is generally better absorbed than isolated powders, particularly when combined with other nutrients naturally found in the food. For example, dairy proteins like Greek yogurt or milk have been shown to trigger stronger muscle protein synthesis responses than some powdered alternatives. This is partly because whole foods contain cofactors that aid digestion and nutrient absorption. In contrast, powders often deliver protein in a concentrated form that may not be processed as efficiently, especially if consumed on an empty stomach or without other complementary nutrients. It is also important to consider long-term sustainability. Muscle preservation is not about quick fixes. It is about consistent daily nourishment that supports the body's repair and growth processes over months and years. Relying solely on protein powders can create a false sense of security, leading some people to neglect other critical dietary components such as micronutrients, fiber, and healthy fats, which play indirect but essential roles in maintaining muscle health. Research has repeatedly demonstrated that diets emphasizing balanced, whole food protein sources lead to better muscle retention and overall health outcomes compared with those that depend heavily on supplements. The body thrives on complexity. It is designed to utilize the full spectrum of nutrients present in natural foods rather than isolated processed powders. The misconception that protein powders are the only way to protect muscles has also contributed to widespread overconsumption. Some individuals take more protein than their body needs, believing it will accelerate results. However, studies have shown that exceeding protein requirements does not further increase muscle protein synthesis. Instead, the excess is often converted to energy or stored as fat, providing little additional benefit. In contrast, eating moderate amounts of high-quality protein through natural foods not only meets the body's needs, but also ensures a steady supply of other nutrients that support metabolic processes, hormonal balance, and overall muscle function. In reality, the solution to preventing muscle loss lies not in chasing powders, but in returning to nature's complete offerings. The most effective strategy is to consume nutrient-dense, protein-rich foods that provide amino acids along with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. These foods work synergistically to trigger muscle protein synthesis, support recovery, and protect cells from damage. By focusing on real foods rather than processed supplements, the body receives a balanced supply of nutrients it can use efficiently, leading to better long-term muscle retention and overall health. Rethinking protein powders does not mean ignoring them entirely. It simply means recognizing that they are a tool, not a magic solution. True, lasting strength comes from consistent whole food nutrition paired with movement and proper recovery. Understanding this distinction is essential because it allows people to make informed choices about their diets, avoid unnecessary expenses on supplements, and achieve sustainable results that go far beyond temporary gains. The body responds best to nutrition that comes directly from whole, natural foods. These foods are not only rich in high-quality protein, but also supply vitamins, minerals, and other compounds that work together to protect and build muscle. Unlike isolated powders, natural foods offer a complete nutrient profile, which supports more efficient muscle protein synthesis. Amino acids from whole foods are absorbed gradually, providing a steady supply for muscle repair, recovery, and growth. Additionally, whole foods contain cofactors that enhance digestion and nutrient absorption, ensuring the body gets the full benefit of what it consumes. This combination of nutrients makes natural foods a far superior choice for long-term muscle health. Complete proteins are the cornerstone of muscle preservation, and many whole foods naturally provide them. Foods like eggs, lean meats, fish, Greek yogurt, and certain legumes contain all essential amino acids the body cannot produce on its own. These amino acids directly stimulate muscle protein synthesis, especially leucine, which is considered the most powerful trigger for building and maintaining muscle. Research confirms that consuming these high-quality proteins in regular, moderate amounts throughout the day leads to better muscle retention compared with large doses of protein taken all at once, which is often how powders are consumed. Natural foods also provide additional nutrients that protein powders typically lack, such as calcium, magnesium, B vitamins, and omega-3 fatty acids, all of which contribute to stronger, healthier muscles. Beyond protein, natural foods deliver antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that play a critical role in preserving muscle health. Oxidative stress damages muscle fibers, slows recovery, and contributes to age-related decline. Whole foods, especially fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, contain compounds like polyphenols, carotenoids, and flavonoids, which protect cells from oxidative damage. Studies have shown that diets rich in these nutrients reduce inflammation and improve muscle function, particularly in older adults. This effect cannot be replicated with protein powders alone, which focus almost exclusively on isolated amino acids while neglecting these protective compounds. Another advantage of whole foods is their ability to support hormonal balance, which is essential for muscle maintenance. Hormones such as testosterone, growth hormone, and insulin-like growth factor regulate muscle protein synthesis, and their decline is a major factor in muscle loss. Natural foods, especially those rich in protein, healthy fats, and micronutrients, support the production and regulation of these hormones. For instance, omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish or walnuts have been shown to enhance anabolic responses, while magnesium and vitamin D found in eggs, dairy, and leafy greens support muscle function and strength. By incorporating these foods consistently, the body is better equipped to maintain muscle mass even as age-related hormonal shifts occur. Practicality also favors natural foods. They are widely available, often more cost-effective than supplements, and can be incorporated into meals in versatile ways. Eating a variety of protein-rich foods throughout the day ensures a continuous supply of amino acids, which maximizes muscle protein synthesis. Research demonstrates that distributing protein intake evenly across meals, rather than consuming it all in a single shake, leads to superior results in both strength and muscle mass preservation. Additionally, natural foods are more satisfying, promoting satiety and preventing overeating, which is another factor that contributes indirectly to maintaining muscle and overall metabolic health. The synergy of nutrients in whole foods also enhances recovery from exercise and daily activity. When the body undergoes stress, whether from resistance training, walking, or simply daily movement, muscles experience small amounts of damage that must be repaired. Natural foods supply not only the amino acids necessary for rebuilding muscle fibers, but also antioxidants that reduce inflammation and support faster recovery. This comprehensive approach is why studies consistently show that individuals consuming whole nutrient-dense foods maintain more lean muscle mass and experience less decline in strength compared with those who rely mainly on supplements. Ultimately, the power of whole foods lies in their completeness. They provide everything muscles need to thrive: high-quality protein, essential amino acids, vitamins, minerals, healthy fats, and protective compounds, delivered in a form the body can absorb and utilize efficiently. They work with the body's natural processes to stimulate muscle growth, prevent breakdown, enhance recovery, and maintain strength over time. By focusing on natural foods instead of isolated powders, the body receives balanced nourishment that supports muscle health energy, and longevity in a way no supplement can match. After understanding the importance of whole foods for muscle preservation, it's time to reveal the superstar food that has been scientifically proven to stop muscle loss naturally. This food is not exotic, expensive, or difficult to find. It is something many people already consume daily but may underestimate in its muscle-preserving power. Eggs are the perfect example of a complete, natural food that delivers everything your muscles need to stay strong. They contain high-quality protein with all essential amino acids, including leucine, which is the most potent trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Multiple studies have demonstrated that consuming eggs regularly supports muscle repair, growth, and maintenance more effectively than many protein powders. Unlike supplements, eggs deliver protein in a highly bioavailable form, meaning the body can absorb and use the nutrients efficiently, maximizing the benefit for your muscles. Eggs are particularly powerful because they combine protein with other critical nutrients that directly influence muscle function. For instance, eggs contain vitamin D, which has been linked to improved muscle strength and reduced risk of falls in older adults. They also provide choline, a nutrient that supports cellular signaling and nerve function, which indirectly affects muscle contraction and coordination. In addition, eggs contain healthy fats that aid hormone production, including testosterone and growth hormone, both of which are essential for maintaining muscle mass. This combination of protein, amino acids, vitamins, and fats makes eggs one of the most effective natural foods for muscle preservation. Research consistently confirms that incorporating eggs into your diet can lead to measurable improvements in lean muscle mass, strength, and recovery. The leucine content in eggs is especially important. Leucine is a branched-chain amino acid that acts as a signal to the body to begin muscle protein synthesis, essentially telling your body to build and repair muscle. Studies have shown that meals containing approximately 2 to 3 grams of leucine can maximize muscle protein synthesis, and a single large egg contains about 0.5 grams of leucine. This means that by eating just a few eggs a day as part of a balanced diet, you can provide your body with a powerful natural stimulus to maintain and grow muscle. Unlike many protein powders, which may not contain sufficient leucine or may require large quantities to achieve the same effect, eggs deliver it in a convenient, nutrient-rich package. Another advantage of eggs is their versatility. They can be incorporated into multiple meals throughout the day, boiled for breakfast, added to salads for lunch, or included in a healthy dinner. This flexibility allows for consistent intake, which is critical because muscle maintenance depends on regular protein consumption rather than occasional large doses. Studies have demonstrated that spreading protein intake evenly across meals leads to superior muscle retention compared with consuming all protein at once. Eggs, therefore, provide not only the nutrients necessary for muscle health, but also the practical means to achieve consistent daily intake without relying on processed powders or shakes. Eggs also support recovery and reduce inflammation, both of which are essential for preventing muscle breakdown. The antioxidants in egg yolks, such as lutein and zeaxanthin, help protect muscle cells from oxidative stress, which can occur after exercise or even routine physical activity. Oxidative stress damages muscle fibers and slows repair, so having a natural food that combats this effect is invaluable. Additionally, the combination of protein and healthy fats in eggs helps stabilize blood sugar levels, providing steady energy that supports sustained activity and prevents muscle catabolism during periods of fasting or low caloric intake. It's important to note that consuming eggs as part of a balanced diet is what makes them truly effective. Pairing them with vegetables, whole grains, and other nutrient-dense foods ensures a complete intake of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that further enhance muscle preservation. Research has shown that dietary patterns emphasizing nutrient-rich whole foods, including eggs, result in greater muscle mass retention, improved strength, and enhanced metabolic function compared with diets focused solely on isolated protein supplements. Eggs, therefore, represent a simple, affordable, and scientifically validated solution to muscle loss that works naturally with the body's processes, For those concerned about cholesterol or health risks, multiple studies have confirmed that moderate egg consumption, typically 1 to 3 eggs per day, does not negatively impact heart health for the majority of people. In fact, the high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential micronutrients found in eggs provide significant benefits for overall wellness, making them a safe and powerful tool for muscle preservation. By incorporating eggs consistently into your diet, you can take a proactive, evidence-based approach to stopping muscle loss, improving strength, and maintaining vitality, all without relying on expensive supplements or powders. Understanding how this natural food works inside your body helps explain why it is so effective at stopping muscle loss. When you consume eggs, for example, the body begins breaking down the high-quality proteins into amino acids, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream. These amino acids serve as the building blocks for muscle tissue, directly contributing to repair and growth. Among them, leucine plays a critical role, acting as a signaling molecule that activates muscle protein synthesis. This process is essentially the body's way of instructing muscle cells to start rebuilding and strengthening themselves. Without sufficient leucine and other essential amino acids, the body struggles to maintain muscle mass no matter how much exercise or protein powder is consumed. The absorption of nutrients from whole foods is remarkably efficient. Eggs, for instance, deliver amino acids, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals in a form that the body can use immediately. The combination of nutrients in eggs also enhances their effect. Vitamin D supports muscle strength and recovery by influencing calcium absorption and nerve signaling, while choline contributes to proper communication between nerves and muscles, which is essential for coordination and contraction. Healthy fats in the yolk aid hormone production, ensuring that testosterone, growth hormone, and other anabolic hormones are available to maintain and build muscle. Together, these nutrients create a potent natural environment for muscle preservation. Muscle protein synthesis is not the only benefit. This natural food also reduces muscle breakdown by mitigating inflammation and oxidative stress. After physical activity, small amounts of damage occur in muscle fibers, which triggers an inflammatory response. While some inflammation is necessary for repair, excessive oxidative stress can slow recovery and promote further muscle loss. Antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds found in eggs and other nutrient-dense foods help neutralize free radicals and minimize damage, allowing muscles to heal faster and grow stronger. Over time, this protective effect significantly reduces the risk of age-related muscle decline, fatigue, and weakness. Another critical factor is the timing and distribution of nutrients. The body responds best when high-quality protein is consumed consistently throughout the day. Eating eggs at multiple meals provides a steady supply of amino acids and other essential nutrients, allowing muscles to recover and grow continuously. Research shows that distributing protein intake evenly across meals results in greater muscle retention than consuming large amounts in a single serving. This approach works naturally with the body's metabolic processes, providing the building blocks for muscle at the times they are most needed. Hormonal support is another reason this food is so effective. Muscle preservation relies heavily on anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone. Natural nutrients found in eggs support the production and balance of these hormones, ensuring that muscle protein synthesis is efficiently activated. Omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, and choline all play roles in maintaining hormonal function, while the complete protein content provides the amino acids required for building and repairing tissue. This combination not only prevents muscle breakdown but also enhances the body's response to exercise and daily activity. Beyond the cellular level, this natural food improves energy and stamina, which indirectly supports muscle maintenance. Proteins and fats provide sustained energy for physical activity, while vitamins and minerals optimize metabolic processes that power muscles during movement. This means that not only are muscles being preserved, but the body is also functioning at a higher level, allowing for more effective workouts, daily activity, and recovery. Over time, consistent consumption of such nutrient-dense foods translates to measurable improvements in strength, endurance, and overall muscle health. Finally, the long-term benefits of relying on natural foods for muscle preservation are supported by extensive research. Studies consistently show that individuals who consume whole, nutrient-rich foods maintain greater muscle mass, experience less strength decline, and recover more quickly after physical stress compared with those who rely heavily on isolated protein supplements. This demonstrates that natural foods like eggs do more than just supply protein. They provide a complete framework for maintaining muscle integrity, supporting hormonal balance, reducing inflammation, and enhancing recovery. Incorporating this natural muscle-preserving food into your daily diet doesn't have to be complicated. Consistency is more important than quantity, and the body responds best when it receives high-quality protein and essential nutrients at regular intervals. For example, starting the day with eggs provides an immediate source of complete protein and leucine to stimulate muscle protein synthesis right after the overnight fast. This initial boost signals your body to begin repairing and building muscle early, setting the tone for the rest of the day. Eating protein-rich foods at subsequent meals maintains a steady supply of amino acids, ensuring that muscle-building processes continue without interruption. Scientific studies show that evenly distributed protein intake across the day enhances muscle retention more effectively than consuming large amounts in a single sitting. Meal planning with this natural food is simple and flexible. For breakfast, boiled, scrambled, or poached eggs provide a convenient, nutrient-dense option that pairs well with vegetables for added vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. At lunch, eggs can be included in salads or mixed with legumes and whole grains to create a balanced, muscle-supporting meal. Dinner can feature eggs as part of a stir-fry, frittata, or combined with lean proteins and fiber-rich foods. This approach not only ensures regular intake of high-quality protein, but also incorporates other nutrients essential for muscle preservation, including vitamin D, choline, magnesium, and healthy fats. Research consistently supports the benefit of including nutrient-dense, whole foods in multiple meals to maintain muscle mass and strength, especially as we age. Portion control is another key factor. While it is important to consume sufficient protein, excessive intake does not further enhance muscle protein synthesis and can even strain digestion and metabolism. Most studies indicate that 3 to 6 eggs per day, distributed across meals, provide an optimal range of amino acids, leucine, and other nutrients to stimulate muscle repair and growth. Pairing eggs with other complementary foods, such as leafy greens, whole grains, or healthy fats like avocado or olive oil, creates a nutrient-dense combination that maximizes absorption and utilization by the body. This balanced approach ensures that the muscles are consistently supported without relying on supplements or artificial additives. Timing also plays a significant role in muscle preservation. Consuming this natural food shortly after resistance training or physical activity enhances recovery and amplifies the benefits of exercise. During this post-activity period, muscles are particularly receptive to amino acids, and providing them in a complete nutrient-rich form accelerates protein synthesis and reduces muscle breakdown. This effect is supported by research showing that protein-rich foods consumed within a few hours of training improve muscle repair, strength, and overall performance more effectively than delayed or inadequate intake. By strategically including this food around physical activity, you can optimize muscle retention while also supporting endurance and energy levels. It is important to maintain variety in your diet while relying on this muscle-preserving food. Eggs, for example, can be complemented with other high-quality protein sources such as Greek yogurt, lean poultry, fish, and plant-based options like lentils or quinoa. This diversity ensures a broad spectrum of amino acids, micronutrients, and antioxidants, all of which work synergistically to support muscle function. Studies consistently show that diverse, nutrient-rich diets improve overall muscle health, reduce inflammation, and enhance recovery, compared with diets dependent on a single source of protein. Incorporating multiple sources also prevents dietary fatigue, making it easier to sustain healthy eating habits over time. Hydration and supporting nutrients are essential alongside daily protein intake. Muscles function optimally when the body is well hydrated, and nutrients like magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins found in vegetables, nuts, and whole grains support muscle contraction, energy production, and recovery. Pairing the superstar muscle-preserving food with these complementary nutrients enhances its effectiveness, ensuring that the body has everything it needs to maintain strength, coordination, and endurance. Scientific evidence emphasizes that a holistic approach combining high-quality protein, micronutrients, and hydration is far more effective for preserving muscle than isolated supplements. By consistently including this natural food in meals, spacing intake throughout the day, pairing it with nutrient-dense additions, and consuming it around activity periods, the body receives the building blocks it needs to prevent muscle loss naturally. Over time, this strategy leads to measurable improvements in strength, endurance, and lean muscle mass without relying on expensive or processed protein powders. The evidence is clear, real, whole foods provide superior long-term support for muscle preservation, recovery, and overall health. While including nutrient-rich, muscle-preserving foods is essential, it is equally important to recognize the foods and habits that can accelerate muscle loss. Certain dietary choices, particularly those high in refined sugar, processed ingredients, and unhealthy fats, have been shown to interfere with muscle protein synthesis, increase inflammation, and promote tissue breakdown. Excessive consumption of sugary drinks, pastries, and packaged snacks can lead to spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, which over time disrupt metabolic processes and negatively affect muscle maintenance. Studies consistently demonstrate that diets high in refined carbohydrates contribute to systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, and reduced muscle strength, particularly in older adults. Processed foods are another major contributor to muscle deterioration. Items such as ready-to-eat meals, fast food, and prepackaged snacks often contain low-quality protein, high sodium, artificial additives, and trans fats. While they may provide calories, they lack the essential amino acids, vitamins, and minerals necessary for muscle repair and growth. Consuming these foods regularly can lead to suboptimal nutrient intake, which limits the body's ability to maintain and rebuild muscle tissue. Research highlights that individuals with diets heavily reliant on processed foods experience more rapid loss of lean muscle mass and slower recovery following exercise compared with those who consume whole, nutrient-dense foods. Excessive alcohol intake also plays a significant role in muscle decline. Alcohol interferes with protein synthesis and hormone production, including testosterone and growth hormone, both of which are critical for maintaining muscle mass. Studies show that chronic alcohol consumption reduces the body's ability to build and repair muscle, increases fat deposition, and slows recovery from physical activity. Even moderate alcohol intake, if consumed frequently, can impair muscle function over time, making it more difficult to preserve strength, especially in combination with aging or reduced activity levels. Low-protein diets are another factor that contributes to muscle loss. Many people unknowingly consume insufficient protein, relying heavily on carbohydrates or fats for energy. Without adequate high-quality protein, the body is unable to repair muscle fibers or stimulate muscle protein synthesis effectively. Research indicates that adults over the age of 30 require slightly higher protein intake than younger adults to counteract natural muscle decline. And insufficient protein intake accelerates sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. Whole, nutrient-dense foods like eggs, lean meats, legumes, and dairy provide the essential amino acids necessary to support continuous muscle repair, making low-protein eating patterns particularly harmful. Chronic overconsumption of saturated fats, commonly found in fried foods, fatty cuts of meat, and certain processed snacks, can also negatively impact muscle health. High intake of these fats has been linked to increased inflammation and reduced insulin sensitivity, both of which interfere with the body's ability to synthesize and maintain muscle. Studies have found that diets high in unhealthy fats contribute to muscle weakness, reduced mobility, and higher rates of age-related decline, whereas balanced diets that replace saturated fats with healthy fats like those from olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish, support muscle preservation and overall metabolic health. Additionally, diets lacking essential micronutrients can undermine muscle maintenance. Magnesium, potassium, calcium, and B vitamins all play critical roles in muscle contraction, energy metabolism, and recovery. Deficiencies in these nutrients, often seen in diets dominated by processed foods or refined carbohydrates, impair muscle function and slow repair. For example, insufficient magnesium can lead to muscle cramps, fatigue, and reduced performance, while low vitamin B12 levels are associated with weakness and impaired coordination. Ensuring a diet rich in whole foods that supply these micronutrients is vital for preventing muscle loss and supporting long-term strength. It is also important to avoid prolonged periods of undernutrition or restrictive diets that significantly reduce caloric intake. When the body lacks sufficient energy from food, it begins to break down muscle tissue for fuel. This catabolic process is particularly detrimental in older adults or anyone already experiencing gradual muscle decline. Research confirms that maintaining adequate caloric intake combined with high-quality protein and essential nutrients is necessary to preserve lean muscle mass and prevent accelerated deterioration. By identifying and minimizing these harmful foods and habits, sugary drinks, processed snacks, excessive alcohol, low-protein diets, high saturated fats, and micronutrient deficiencies, you create an environment in the body that supports muscle maintenance rather than destruction. Combining this awareness with the consistent inclusion of nutrient-rich, whole foods allows the body to preserve strength, enhance recovery, and maintain lean muscle mass over time. Making these dietary adjustments is not about restriction or deprivation, but about replacing damaging foods with options that actively support your muscles and overall health. Diet alone is powerful, but lifestyle habits are equally essential for preserving muscle. Physical activity, particularly resistance training, is one of the most effective ways to maintain and even build muscle at any age. When muscles are challenged through weightlifting, bodyweight exercises, or resistance bands, they experience micro-tears that the body repairs and strengthens. This process, known as muscle protein synthesis, is significantly enhanced when paired with nutrient-rich, protein-dense foods. Studies consistently show that combining regular resistance training with high-quality protein intake results in greater muscle mass retention, improved strength, and better functional performance compared with either strategy alone. Even everyday movement plays a critical role. Activities like walking, climbing stairs, gardening, or carrying groceries contribute to muscle engagement and prevent the decline associated with a sedentary lifestyle. Prolonged sitting and minimal activity accelerate muscle loss, particularly in the lower body, which is crucial for balance and mobility. Research indicates that breaking up long periods of sitting with short bouts of activity, even just a few minutes at a time, can preserve strength, improve circulation, and stimulate the muscles in ways that help maintain their size and function. These small, consistent habits compound over time, making a noticeable difference in overall muscle health. Adequate sleep is another crucial factor in muscle preservation. During sleep, the body produces growth hormone, which plays a significant role in tissue repair, muscle growth, and protein synthesis. Studies demonstrate that insufficient or poor quality sleep reduces growth hormone production, impairs muscle recovery, and increases the risk of muscle breakdown. Adults who consistently get 7 to 9 hours of high-quality sleep experience better muscle retention, improved strength, and faster recovery from physical activity compared with those who are chronically sleep-deprived. Sleep is not just a passive process, it is an active period of repair and regeneration that supports all aspects of muscle health. Hydration also influences muscle function and preservation. Muscles are approximately 75% water, and even mild dehydration can impair strength, endurance, and recovery. Adequate water intake ensures proper nutrient transport, lubrication of joints, and optimal biochemical reactions within muscle cells. Research indicates that athletes and older adults alike perform better and maintain more lean muscle mass when consistently hydrated. Simple habits such as drinking water before, during, and after physical activity, or consuming water-rich foods like fruits and vegetables contribute significantly to maintaining healthy muscles over time. Stress management plays an often overlooked role in preserving muscle. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, a hormone that in excessive amounts promotes muscle breakdown and inhibits protein synthesis. High cortisol also increases inflammation, which further accelerates muscle deterioration. Incorporating stress-reducing practices such as mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, or light physical activity has been shown to support hormonal balance and reduce muscle catabolism. Individuals who manage stress effectively tend to retain more lean muscle mass and recover more quickly from exercise or daily physical demands. Balanced nutrition, lifestyle habits, and physical activity are interconnected. For instance, regular exercise increases the body's sensitivity to protein and amino acids, making the muscle-building effects of nutrient-rich foods even more potent. Adequate sleep and hydration further enhance recovery and hormone production, while stress management prevents unnecessary muscle breakdown. This holistic approach ensures that muscles are constantly being supported, challenged, and repaired, which is essential for long-term preservation and strength. Research supports that individuals who integrate these lifestyle habits with a diet rich in whole, nutrient-dense foods maintain more muscle mass, experience greater functional capacity, and reduce the risk of age-related decline compared with those who focus on nutrition alone. Consistency is key. Sporadic workouts, occasional sleep, or irregular protein intake are insufficient for long-term muscle maintenance. Muscles respond to repeated stimuli, both nutritional and physical, over time. Creating a daily routine that combines resistance training, regular movement, high-quality nutrition, sufficient sleep, hydration, and stress management creates an optimal environment for muscle preservation. This approach not only slows age-related decline, but can also improve strength, energy, and overall quality of life, making everyday activities easier and more enjoyable. Incorporating these habits into daily life doesn't require extreme measures or complicated regimens. Small, sustainable changes, like adding a few minutes of resistance exercises, consuming protein-rich meals regularly, prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of sleep, drinking enough water, and managing stress, compound over weeks and months to produce measurable results. Research shows that adults who adopt these practical strategies maintain greater muscle mass, improve functional performance, and experience better overall health outcomes compared with those who neglect these factors. By viewing muscle preservation as a combination of diet, movement, sleep, hydration, and stress management, it becomes clear that natural foods work best when paired with a lifestyle that actively supports muscle health. Many misconceptions about muscle building and preservation prevent people from achieving their full potential. One common myth is that protein powders are essential for maintaining muscle, when in reality, research shows that high-quality whole foods provide superior results. While powders can be convenient, they cannot replicate the complex nutrient profile of natural foods, which deliver not only complete proteins, but also vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and healthy fats. Studies consistently demonstrate that diets emphasizing nutrient-dense whole foods lead to better muscle retention and strength compared with those relying heavily on supplements. This makes it clear that protein shakes are optional tools, not irreplaceable solutions. Another widespread myth is that lifting extremely heavy weights is the only way to preserve muscle. While resistance training is indeed crucial, evidence shows that moderate, consistent resistance exercises are equally effective when paired with proper nutrition. Body weight exercises, resistance bands, or lighter weights performed regularly can stimulate muscle protein synthesis, promote strength, and prevent atrophy. The body responds to consistent challenge rather than occasional extreme stress. Additionally, overtraining without adequate recovery nutrition can hinder muscle preservation, highlighting the importance of balance rather than intensity alone. Many people also believe that once muscle loss begins, it is irreversible. Research proves the opposite. Muscle is highly adaptable and capable of regeneration at any age when provided with the right combination of nutrients and activity. Studies on older adults have shown that initiating resistance training and consuming high-quality protein can restore lost muscle mass, improve strength, and enhance functional capacity. This demonstrates that proactive strategies, even later in life, can reverse muscle decline and significantly improve quality of life. A common misconception is that eating large amounts of protein in a single meal accelerates muscle growth. In reality, the body can only utilize a certain amount of protein at a time for muscle protein synthesis, typically around 20 to 30 grams per meal, depending on body size and activity level. Excess protein is either excreted or converted to energy rather than contributing to additional muscle growth. Consuming protein in moderate amounts throughout the day, combined with high-quality sources like eggs, lean meats, and legumes, provides a steady supply of amino acids and maximizes muscle maintenance and repair. This approach is more effective and sustainable than relying on sporadic large doses from supplements. Another myth is that age inevitably leads to uncontrollable muscle loss. While sarcopenia, the age-related decline in muscle mass, is real, studies indicate that lifestyle choices, including diet, exercise, and recovery habits, play a far greater role than age alone. Older adults who maintain consistent resistance training, adequate protein intake, and nutrient-rich diets preserve significant muscle mass and strength, often outperforming sedentary, younger individuals. This emphasizes that muscle loss is not predetermined. It can be managed, slowed, and even reversed through evidence-based strategies. Some people assume that muscle-building foods need to be complicated or expensive to be effective. Research consistently shows that simple, accessible foods like eggs, dairy, legumes, fish, and lean meats provide all the nutrients required for muscle maintenance. These foods are not only cost-effective but also highly bioavailable, meaning the body can absorb and utilize their nutrients efficiently. Unlike highly processed powders or specialized supplements, whole foods deliver a complete package of amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats that work synergistically to stimulate muscle protein synthesis, reduce inflammation, and enhance recovery. Hydration myths also persist, with some believing water has little influence on muscle health. In fact, proper hydration is critical for nutrient transport, joint function, and biochemical reactions within muscles. Even mild dehydration reduces strength, endurance, and recovery, directly impacting muscle preservation. Consistent water intake, along with water-rich foods such as fruits and vegetables, supports overall metabolic function and ensures muscles receive the nutrients they need to perform and recover optimally. Finally, there is a belief that supplements can replace a healthy lifestyle. While certain nutrients may be challenging to obtain in small quantities through diet alone, no supplement can substitute for the combined benefits of high-quality protein, micronutrients, antioxidants, resistance exercise, adequate sleep, hydration, and stress management. Muscle preservation is a holistic process that requires consistent attention to diet and lifestyle. Supplements may complement this approach, but they cannot replace it, and relying solely on them often results in suboptimal outcomes. By addressing these common myths, it becomes clear that effective muscle preservation is rooted in evidence-based practices, consuming nutrient-dense whole foods, engaging in regular, appropriately challenging physical activity, maintaining proper hydration, prioritizing recovery, and managing stress. Understanding and acting on these truths empowers individuals to take control of their muscle health and avoid the pitfalls of misinformation that can slow progress or even accelerate decline. Creating a practical daily routine that combines nutrition, exercise, and recovery is the most effective way to preserve muscle and maintain strength over time. The foundation of this routine is high-quality whole food protein consumed consistently throughout the day, starting the morning with a nutrient-dense breakfast such as eggs paired with vegetables or whole grains, provides the body with essential amino acids and leucine to initiate muscle protein synthesis after an overnight fast. This early boost sets the stage for muscle repair and growth, ensuring that the body begins the day in an anabolic muscle-supporting state. Research consistently shows that breakfast consumption with high-quality protein enhances daily muscle protein synthesis and supports long-term strength. Midday meals should continue this pattern, incorporating protein-rich foods alongside complex carbohydrates and healthy fats. Options like salads with eggs or legumes, lean poultry with vegetables, or fish with quinoa provide a balance of nutrients that support sustained energy and muscle repair. Consistent protein intake throughout the day ensures that muscles receive a steady supply of amino acids, optimizing growth and recovery. Studies have demonstrated that distributing protein intake evenly across meals leads to superior retention of lean muscle mass compared with consuming the majority of protein in a single meal or relying heavily on supplements. This approach also prevents energy dips and supports overall metabolic health. Resistance training should be included at least 3 to 5 times per week, focusing on major muscle groups to stimulate growth and maintain strength. Exercises do not need to be overly complex or heavy. Bodyweight movements, resistance bands, or moderate weights performed consistently are sufficient to trigger muscle protein synthesis when paired with proper nutrition. The key is consistency and gradual progression, allowing muscles to adapt and strengthen over time. Research confirms that even moderate resistance training significantly reduces age-related muscle decline when combined with adequate dietary protein. Hydration and recovery are equally important components of a daily routine. Drinking water consistently throughout the day ensures proper nutrient transport, supports joint function, and optimizes muscle cell performance. Muscles are highly sensitive to hydration levels, and even mild dehydration can reduce strength, endurance, and recovery efficiency. Pairing proper hydration with adequate sleep, typically 7 to 9 hours per night, allows the body to repair tissues, produce growth hormone, and maintain overall metabolic function. Sleep is not a passive state. It is when the body performs much of its repair and regeneration, making it essential for long-term muscle preservation. Stress management should also be integrated into the daily schedule. Chronic stress increases cortisol levels, which accelerates muscle breakdown and inhibits protein synthesis. Simple strategies such as mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing exercises, or light physical activity help regulate cortisol and promote a more favorable hormonal environment for muscle maintenance. Individuals who manage stress effectively retain more lean muscle mass and experience better overall recovery from exercise or daily physical demands. Research shows that stress reduction supports anabolic processes and enhances the effects of diet and exercise on muscle preservation. Practical timing of meals around physical activity further enhances results. Consuming protein-rich foods such as eggs within a few hours before or after exercise ensures that muscles have the nutrients they need for repair and growth during periods of increased sensitivity. This synergy between nutrition and exercise accelerates recovery, reduces muscle breakdown, and optimizes strength gains over time. Studies consistently demonstrate that nutrient timing, combined with consistent protein intake, significantly improves outcomes for muscle retention compared with inconsistent dietary patterns. Including variety in meals ensures a comprehensive nutrient profile.